Hey guys, Sicko Man here with Fresh Friday. This week has definitely been a bit more active than last week was. I took that little hiatus, but I did also get that Ghost Recon Wildlands review video up yesterday. You should go check it out. It's got a full review of the base game, and we also talk about the new Ghost War PvP as that's been out for just a little over a week now. It's definitely worth a try, and if you've been interested in the Ghost Recon series, especially Wildlands now, and kind of been hesitant, I think this review will hopefully help you figure out what you want to do, especially considering the game's been on sale lately, so hopefully it helps you figure out whether or not you want to get the game. I highly recommend it. It's a good sandbox with a pretty good experience, and it's definitely got some beautiful level design. Anyways, moving on to this week's Fresh Friday. First up, we've got some League of Legends news. Team Dignitas, which has been competing in the League of Legends LCS season and championship for the last 5-6 years now, will actually be held out of the season this year. They've been competing since 2011, so being held out will definitely lose them a decent amount of ground. The team will apparently be in a compensation pool. This pool is going to be paid out by the new incoming teams, most notably the Golden State Warriors team that's just been allowed in, and I believe the Houston Rockets just got an esports team in there as well. Surprisingly enough though, it seems that people on the team, specifically Dignitas coach Brandon DeMarco, has found this kind of surprising, so it doesn't seem like something that was maybe considered by the Dignitas team. They probably just thought that considering they've been competing for the last 6 years, they would still get this spot. That's not always the best approach to have, but it's also really surprising when you've been showing so much effort and been competing for so long to suddenly be held out of a season and tournament like this. Moving on to Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 is getting its 10-year update this week. It actually went live already, and after 10 years, it looks like some vitality is being added to the landscape of this game. A lot of new maps are coming in. Some of these will be Valve creations along with some community creations as well. You will definitely notice a change in setting with new maps like Banana Bay in Brazil. Adds a lot more greenery to the Dust Bowl that we're used to, and there's not really a lot to go on here. There's no controversy around it. I just want to wish Team Fortress a happy 10th birthday. Welcome to the double digits. For a game that's influenced so many shooters in its time, and for a game that kind of brought that cartoonish style really up and coming for the way multiplayer games are designed, it definitely has inspired other games such as Overwatch. It's really nice to see the way Valve's been treating this game and the ways that they update it and maintain it as well. Some sadder news, moving on from birthdays, we have some death. EA actually closed down their Visceral studios this week, resulting in the studio having to scrap a work-in-progress Star Wars game. So if you're a Star Wars fan like me, it's kind of sad to see that go. Visceral is specifically known for games such as Dead Space. I know EA said some incarnation of that Star Wars game is going to continue to exist, but it's really questionable if it's going to have that Visceral feel with different studios working on it. I hope that the Visceral team is able to find more permanent spots with EA. EA has been looking to downsize considerably in the amount of studios it has operating under its umbrella, but this kind of comes as a pretty heavy blow considering the game has been in development. I know there were some rumors going around that it was getting stuck in places and there was no real vision for the story, but with a potential Visceral had at its disposal, it's kind of sad to see that the game is not going to be completely made by that studio anymore, and that a parent company like EA had to get so thoroughly involved with the process. And this is coming on the heels as EA is kind of receiving backlash for what are going to be loot boxes in Battlefront 2. They have announced their plans to kind of change this loot box system, but still leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you're going into a PvP experience, especially a Star Wars PvP experience, and it's becoming more of a play to win situation than anything else. And while we're talking Star Wars Battlefront 2 and clones, we have a different kind of clone in the name of a Steam game. A Steam user by the name of I Am Patty Jack has seemed to reach his absolute limit in regards to the quality over quantity, or quantity over quality to be more correct, that is the Steam community right now. This is a situation that Valve has kind of been taking under their own wing and going after a bit more. They did take down, I think, about 200 plus games, was it last month, from a very specific studio. This studio was known for just shipping out games in regards to the badge trade that you can do within Steam. But the most notable thing about this story is that I Am Patty Jack found a game called Glitch Simulator 2018, and being fed up with the quality of these kind of games, he went in and made the game itself block for block in under 13 minutes. After noticing that most of the game's assets came from a package known as Game Guru, it seems that he just went in and made the whole thing by himself, and I actually commend him for this. It puts a very simple example out there for people to see, and it gives some context to the problem that's out there. There are in fact a lot of games that are roaming around Steam that just really aren't games. And here the catch of this game was supposed to be you could walk through this environment and just find glitches. That's not a game. That's just a ploy to get some people to spend dumb money on a dumb game. And it's nice to see that the community takes this into their own hands. Show these developers, or not even developers at that, and just show these money grabbers what it's really about. Show them that gamers still care about this, and the fact that so many people have been getting away with this for so long is just abysmal. I'm looking forward to the positive outcome of this. Hopefully it gains more attention. Hopefully Valve sees it more. Maybe this guy gets a job. If he can go in and do that, and he can recognize this sample pack just from that, it's maybe not noticeable in someone's ability, but at least there's potential there. there. Shouts out to I Am Patty Jack, good job man. Continuing the topic of Steam games, PUBG got some notoriety in Korea this week. A congressman in Korea seems to have actually shown up to a session with a golden pan. Now, if you've played PUBG or PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, you're well aware of the fact that pans in this game are used for two things primarily: keeping your butt covered and beating people to death. It seems that this wasn't used as a negative prop piece, however, it was more used as a positive one. This congressman wants to start a solid foundation to continue to promote more successful stories in the gaming community like that of PUBG. As the developer of PUBG is from South Korea, it seems like more of a way to boost morale and encourage people to see the gaming community and the esports community as a definite area of not only monetary improvement, but of social and cultural improvement as well. There's a lot of potential to be tapped here, and it's nice to see these things get more legitimized as our community continues to grow. We've got things here in the US like the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets picking up esports teams, but it's also nice to see it happen internationally. We need this growth globally for this community to continue to gain the kind of support it's been gaining recently, and hopefully it also sends a message to companies themselves that by promoting their fan base and what their fan base wants, they can maybe see some more beneficial impact. Some notorious cases could be the way Nintendo treats the Smash community versus the way the Mortal Kombat developers treat that community. There's a lot to be said in how a company interacts with its consumers, and this is definitely showing a positive light on the consumers, because if you're politically involved in this world, you're almost guaranteed to be financially involved as well. And as we continue cultural involvement around video games, cupsonas have become a thing. Admittedly, these are a bit more innocent than the personas a lot of us are used to seeing on the internet. It's kind of a cute little OC thing, more in line with the way kids used to do Sonic OCs. I recommend checking out some posts over on Twitter. I haven't seen a hashtag started, but I'm sure if you just type in cupsonas, you'll be able to see something. A lot of people have taken to drawing them as couples, you know, maybe including their boyfriend or their girlfriend, their significant other, or maybe just themselves and like a pet. It's a nice thing to see. The game's really blown up. It's not a game I've been able to get my hands on yet, but I'm really looking forward to playing it. And it's got a nice art style, one that's easy to emulate, and, you know, make your own OC in this situation. And I definitely commend people for doing this, as long as you keep it positive. I'm not casting shade at people who are furries or have their fursonas, but let's not turn this into a whole Rule 34 thing. Let's keep it innocent. I know the game itself, it's got some violent undertones, but we can still keep it, you know, nice, fresh, and happy. And while we're talking about fresh and happy in regards to innocence, PS4 has announced their mini controllers. These controllers are more like game pads. They look primarily designed for children, continuing a trend of growing gaming culture, so now you're aiming things more at children. Some might say this is bad, some might say it's positive, but I think it's more of a positive thing. I can remember growing up, my hands weren't always perfectly sized for those PlayStation controllers, or especially the Xbox controllers, and it was really a hindrance in my ability to play games. This here allows maybe your younger sibling to play a game with you, and it definitely allows more of a thorough connection between siblings when playing video games, or even parents who have grown up in the gaming culture getting to play games with their kids now that they have this type of equipment ready for them. And maybe you don't even have kids, maybe you just have someone in your life who's got really small hands, or is a small person in stature in general, requires a smaller controller. This might be the perfect Christmas gift for them. Hashtag they're not paying me for this plug. Hashtag Sony, if you want to pay me for this plug, please. I'm just saying it'd be a nice quality of life gift for those people in your life who are looking to play games and might not always be comfortable with the PlayStation controller they're given. Just because I think the PlayStation 4 controller is perfectly fitted for my hand doesn't mean someone smaller than me doesn't. And our final story here, moving almost completely away from the innocence of cupsonas and PlayStation mini game pads, are stolen Call of Duty games. There's a guy from Indiana here in the United States who apparently was selling stolen copies of Call of Duty World War II as well as stolen copies of Madden 18. Now right now authorities think that the guy was able to get these games from Sony's DADC facility within the state. The question here is how he was able to gain access to this facility. It doesn't seem like the man was ever on any kind of employee roster for the facility, so there's a real question to who was supplying him with the games. It looks like they come from a stolen batch from about a month ago, and it's not entirely out there that whoever was plugging him on these games are in result probably going to be tossed up in regards to getting a plea deal. Also just want to say, free the homie. You know, he was just out here plugging. He's probably going to get away if he can get the plea deal, but he was selling these games for $45, and compared to the $60 benchmark price that you have for Call of Duty World War II and Madden 18 right now, that's the plug right there. I know I shouldn't be promoting piracy. It's a real problem in the gaming world, so be one of the good pirates. Test it out, buy it later. Anyways guys, That's Fresh Friday for you. Remember, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it fresh. I'm your host, Sicko Man. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Sicko_man. You can check me out on Twitch at Sicko_man as well. Please like the video if you haven't had a chance. It really helps me out. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. I try to upload Fresh Fridays at least once a week. If news is slow, I'll let you know if a video is not coming. I'm also trying to get more game reviews out there. I know some people might think the Ghost Recon game review is a bit late in the game's life, considering it came out almost a year ago now, but I think it's relatively perfectly timed. The game just got a big update. It just got PvP. The base story is finished. It keeps getting new DLC, so go check out the review. Maybe you'll decide you want the game, and if you get the game, let me know. Maybe I'll play with you. I'm looking for ghosts for my squad. Anyways, I'm Sicko Man. Once again, thanks for watching. Sicko out.